Let's take a look at this problem involving a job order cost system. And I'll read the problem to you. Terry Furniture Company refinishes and reupholsters furniture. Terry uses a job order cost system. When a prospective customer asks for a price quote on a job, the estimated cost data are inserted on an unnumbered job cost sheet. If the offer is accepted, a number is assigned to the job and the cost incurred are recorded in the usual manner on the job cost sheet. After the job is completed, reasons for the variances between the estimated and actual cost are noted on the sheet. The data are then available to management in evaluating the efficiency of operations and preparing quotes on future jobs. On June 1st, 2010, an estimated $1,087.80 for reupholstering 2 chairs and a couch was given to Ted Austin. The estimated costs were based on the following data, and you can see on the middle of the screen they were expecting to use 24 meters of direct materials at $14 per meter for a total of $336, and they were expecting to use 14 hours of direct labor, paying the direct labor a wage of $18 per hour, and perhaps that's an average wage. They assume that the factory overhead is 75% of their direct labor costs, so if we multiply the estimated direct labor by 75%, we're able to compute the $189 estimate of factory overhead. So the total estimated costs are $777, and they anticipate, or they've built into their quoting system, a markup on estimated cost of 40% of production cost. So when we tack in the $310.80, which is 40% of the total estimated cost, we come up with a total estimate of $1,087.80. Okay, then on June 4th, the chairs and couch were picked up from the residence of Ted Austin with a commitment to return them on August 5th. And the job was completed on August 2nd. And then we have more information on what was involved. So they actually used 10 meters at $14 plus 16 meters at $14. And those materials actually had a requisition number of when the material was requisitioned to build the job. They also have a couple time tickets, H16 and H21, that says they use 6 hours at an $18 rate and 10 hours at an $18 rate. So when we multiply that and add it, we're able to come up with the total amount of labor that was used. Okay, now let's take a look at the instructions. 1. Complete the portion of the job order cost sheet that would be prepared when the estimate is given to the customer. And 2. Assign number 10-110 to the job, record the cost incurred, and complete the job cost sheet. Comment on the reasons for the variances between actual costs and estimated cost. For this purpose, assume that 2 meters of materials were spoiled, the factory overhead rate has been proved to be satisfactory, and an inexperienced employee performed the work. Okay, now on this slide what you see is the job order cost sheet, the estimate, as well as the actual recorded. Now only the job order cost sheet and the estimate would be handed to the customer, of course, but I've gone ahead and illustrated the solution with the let me say that correctly. I've illustrated the solution all but the commentary, which we'll take a look at in a moment. So you see in the middle area, the estimate that was given to the customer is written down on the job order cost sheet. So we have 3 areas: direct materials, direct labor, and then a summary. So the total cost is provided, and it looks like in this situation, if we've given him a quote equal to over $1,000, we're being very honest with the customer on our markup, and that could certainly be the case. Then near the bottom where it says actual, you see how we drop in the details that were given to us. We drop in the material requirement number, the description, and that we total up the total amounts once we multiply the meters times the cost per direct material. We do the same thing with direct labor using the time ticket as the guide, and we come up with $216. And then we provide our summary. And what this allows us to do is, on one simple sheet, we are able to compare the estimate to the actual results. Okay, now on our final slide here, we've added the comments at the bottom, and I've left the estimate and actual on the screen so you have the basis for where the comments are coming from all in front of you on the screen. And the comments read, the direct materials cost exceeded the estimate by $40 because 2 meters of materials were spoiled. The direct labor cost exceeded the estimate by $21 because an additional 3 hours of labor were used by an inexperienced employee that worked for $1 less. Now, of course, they gave you all that information in the problem, but in a real practical setting, you would probably have to look at the general ledger information and other supporting information to find out what happened if it wasn't obvious from just comparing the estimate to the actual labor in front of you. And sometimes we may even want to further investigate what the cause or the variance is, because of course the goal is we want to control costs in the future so that we only have favorable variances, and then we can decide if we should be passing on those favorable variances to our customers.